600 WMT gets your motor started and revs up your engine every Saturday morning at 10 on the My Car Geek Hour, brought to you by Cassill Motors.
And a good morning and welcome to the My Car Geek Hour. Now, Jay Cassill is usually here, but he's out. What's he doing, Lowell?
Well, he's out at Las Vegas doing a half marathon.
A half marathon?
Yeah,
couldn't do the whole one, huh?
I think he's working his way up to that probably. But no, he is actually out there with his sister, and they're going to do a half marathon.
Well,
this is his first one, I believe.
I said we'll see if he makes the half, right?
I think he'll do it.
Do you think he will?
Oh, yeah.
Lowell Underwood is here with me this morning, and he is the collision center manager, is that right?
That's correct. Yep.
But you know a lot about cars because you have started working around cars when you were, how old?
Well, actually, my dad used to do this way back when I was probably 5 years old. He would buy a wrecked truck or a car, and he'd bring it home, and then we'd drive it for a long time. And yeah, so I've been around this pretty much my whole life.
So anyway, if somebody has a car question, though, that maybe you can't answer, not that that would ever happen, but if you can't, but anyway, Jay said we're going to get phone numbers so that Jay will call him back after the show, and he's going to be back in town, in the next day or so? Or
that's right.
Maybe he might even call him back today.
And he even told me that. He said, you know what, get the name and number if I can't answer the question. And he said he'd even probably do it right when he gets done racing.
Now, how about if he can still hold his breath?
That's right.
That's right. He can still stand up and talk. But Jay's good at that. He likes to have people do that. So anyway, the point being that Lowell Underwood is here, and if you have a car question this morning, please give him a call. And the phone numbers here are 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, or star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone. And anyway, until we get our first call, let's talk about the collision center. And now, does everybody in the world know that you folks at Cassill Motors have a collision center?
I don't think that's true. I think there's still people out there that think that we still just sell cars. But, yeah, we actually do have a full collision center, and we have everything from technology of computerized matching paint to a frame machine to pull your frame and everything. So, yep.
You have to have so many more technologies today, I guess, for lack of a better word, in order to get the car put back in the shape it was before you had the accident, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you got to keep up with the technology of what's going on with these brand new cars.
What does it take to total a car? I mean, what is it, a dollar amount, or is it the damage?
It's both. I mean, it's typically the dollar amount of what it's going to cost to repair the vehicle. They have a percentage that they go by as far as the value of the car. So, yeah, typically it's just a percentage of what the damage is.
I see. So do all companies have the same percentage, or do each insurance companies march to their own drummer?
There is a little bit of a variance in that. Some of the companies depending upon if it's their fault or if they're paying for somebody else's car, they will have a percentage that they use. But not every company is the same. It's pretty close, but not all of them are the same.
So it depends on what your deductible is and how you work that. Now, some people say, well, I had it worked in and I didn't have to pay the deductible. That's not quite legal, is it?
No, it's not. No.
But years ago, I heard a lot of that, and today you got to be pretty well up front, and you don't want to do that. But what's the advantage of going to somebody like you as opposed to taking it to the dealership where maybe they bought it, or to the dealership that handles that particular model car?
Well, I mean, it's not really anything as far as better, but it's just simply that we're small enough. We like to take care of our customers personally. So we're not a big volume shop like some of these guys are out there. So we try not to treat you like a number, but it's just a difference of the personable part of our dealership. We're a family-owned company, and we like to take care of our customers, and that's number one.
But there's no problem with insurance or anything like that,
No,
right?
No. When it comes to that, we work with all of the insurance companies. And so, there's really no advantage to whether you go to a dealership or go to our dealership's body shop.
With the advantage, would you be the same price as are all the body shops the same price for doing the same thing?
Actually, it's not. There are different labor rates out there, and so there are definitely some differences when it comes to that.
So it's like kind of putting on a roof, get 3 bids and call us. When you get the point is get some ideas before you just make a flat decision. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true. And one of the things you got to really make sure you watch is the quality of work. There's definitely differences in price, but there's also differences in the quality of work that people do.
How do you determine that as a layperson? How do you know you're going to give me the best quality, and the guy down the street maybe isn't going to do quite? He's going to look for the shortcuts.
It's for me. I think a lot of it's just by people in word. A lot of work that we do for customers, and then they turn around and tell their friends. I think that's the biggest part of our business is that when people do a good job, they want to tell other and their friends and families.
All right. So, anyway, he's got something coming in here. I'm just not sure exactly what. So we'll wait and see. Now, on the what about a warranty? Do you provide on what you do? I mean, do you have a warranty on your work?
Yeah, we definitely do. Cassill Motors loves to make sure that we take care of our customers. So if there's ever any issues with what we do, we definitely want to make sure we take care of the warranty of the work that we do. Yep.
We have a caller here,
right.
and gee, I wonder who this is. Jay, what's your last name?
Jay Cassill.
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
Hey.
Did you finish the marathon?
No, we just went past the 7-mile mark.
Is that right? And you're still running, is that the idea? Are you still there? We lost him.
We lost him.
We lost him.
Well, it sounds like he's running.
Yeah, it sure does. So I don't know what happened there, but he's gone. So maybe he'll call back or something.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, Lowell Underwood is here with me this morning, and he is the collision center manager, and he knows a lot about cars as well. And if you'd like to give Lowell a call this morning, if you have a car problem, he can certainly answer that for you or try to. And if not, why, Jay says he'll call the people back after the show. Is that right?
Absolutely. Like I say, if I don't have an answer for you, Jay said he will definitely get back to you on trying to get to your answer to you. So definitely will do that for you guys.
In the meantime, give Lowell a call here at 365-0600. 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, or star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone, and Lowell will certainly give it a shot, right? And like I said, you have to run into so much of this, I would think, as you work on cars in the collision center, right?
Oh, yeah, you bet.
Let's see, Jay's back again. Are you back there?
I'm back. Are you there?
We're here. Yeah, bet. You still running?
Okay. I'm still running. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. But you're going to stay with us the whole program while you run, or are you just here to say hello?
Well, I'm just here to say hello, and I got a question for Lowell.
Okay, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, if I wreck my car and I call my insurance company, my insurance company cannot tell me where I have to take my car, can they?
No, that is true. You have the choice of where you want to go. They have what they call preferred shops, and that is body shops that they work with on a daily basis. But when it comes to your choosing of where you want to go, you absolutely have the right to go where you want to.
Okay, cool. I just didn't want them to have to tell me I had to go somewhere else when I'd rather have Lowell do my work.
I appreciate that. But
you don't sound like you're going to make the whole thing here.
Oh, come on. I am too.
Very good.
I'm doing good. Hey, it's hot down here, man.
How many miles you running?
13.1.
Hey, you're almost halfway there. Or you are halfway
No. We've just gone 7 miles. We're running a total of 13.1.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are. Well, we hope you finish the half marathon there.
Well, I hope I finish with my sister.
There you go.
That's good.
She's pushing me pretty hard here.
Is she in front of you or behind you?
She's in front of me.
Uh-huh.
But I can see her, so I'll catch her.
Boy. Hang in there.
Sounds good.
Jay,
well, get any numbers? Anybody wants to call afterwards, I'll call after I get done.
All right, sounds great. And what time do you think you're going to finish? In about 10 minutes or what?
It's probably going to be about an hour and a half.
I bet. Well, I hope you stay with it. That's the main thing, and have a good time.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot. And everybody call in and ask Lowell questions.
All right. Thanks, Jay. We appreciate the call now. You bet.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. All right. It's fun to hear from him. Let's go to Jeff here in Cedar Rapids. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
How you doing? I don't have a question for Lowell, but I just want to say I know a lot about cars, and when I do listen to Jay, it's incredible what he knows.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some of the things that I didn't think of for the answers. And especially he knows the years and the problems, which is that's experience. I mean, I don't know that, but and as far as paint, yeah, I heard somebody took a car out and wanted Lowell to paint it, and so you guys, you got it going out there. I've never bought a car from you, but.
Well, I appreciate the call, and Jay definitely knows what he's doing. I was in awe last week when I sat here with him and listened to him talk about his different, O2 Taurus, and he knew exactly what the guy was talking about, and so it's definitely takes experience for that to happen. And
what I think it was, isn't it the O2 Taurus, the one with the bad transmission or something?
I can't remember, but
yeah, but
that's more his field.
Yeah, I mean that's just unlike a car lot having that good of experience out there. But yeah, I thought I knew a lot, but when he knows the history of them, that's good. So you guys got a good thing going.
Well, I appreciate that.
Okay, have a good day.
Well, thank you. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Jeff, for calling in today. We appreciate that. Lowell Underwood is my guest this morning. He is the collision center manager for Cassill Motors, right?
Yep. And, I was thinking about this earlier today. I was thinking, well, Jay's got his show called the Geek Car Geek Show.
Yeah. He's been trying for years to get it to call it that. Yes.
Yes. And so he may be the geek, but I would like to say that I'm the body shop guru. So let's
the
call
body
me
shop.
the body shop guru.
All right.
All
but
right.
But a lot of the questions people have as far as some of these cars are concerned, you seem to know too, because you have to deal with that in the body shop.
We
don't
do,
you?
yes. And I don't know a lot about the mechanical stuff a lot of times, and so we always go to our service department to get answers like that. But you definitely have to know what the car is made of and what it takes to get that back to the original specs and the original look, and that's definitely what we have.
Don't a lot of the cars have the same idiosyncrasies? So somebody calls up and says, well, it's pulling to the right or pulling to the left or doing this. Oh, well, that was that model, and that did it on that model. Do you see that a lot?
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. You have definitely different models that have their certain only, little problems.
You're right.
So, yep. Like especially when it comes to rust repair. We have definitely certain cars that have, or certain trucks that have areas that always have the same problem.
Let's talk about that rust here in a minute. Let's take a call first.
Okay.
Let's talk to Dale here in Cedar Rapids. Hi, Dale.
Good morning, Dale.
Hi. Speaking of rust, we've got an O2 Outback with just a little bit of rust on one of the rear fender panels.
Okay, one quarter panel.
Yeah, a quarter panel.
Okay.
And we've taken it to a couple of body shops, and they said, no, we can't touch it. We have to replace the whole fender, and they just don't do rust repair work.
Okay.
We'd like to catch it before it gets too bad.
Right.
It's just an area about 2 or 3 inches in diameter. But
is it like right around the wheel lip?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right on the edge there.
Yeah, and one of the things I always say is, it is doable. The thing that you don't want to do is just grind it down and then mud it up.
Right.
It's a lot like, I hate to say it, but like cancer, where you really need to cut that out of there, get rid of it, and then weld in new metal, so that way you are good to go.
Okay. All right.
But
yeah,
I know a lot of body shops don't like to do that kind of work, because the issue you have a lot of times is if there's like rust that you can't see and it's coming in through a different area, then it's kind of like on us. We try to stay away from it because of that issue. But like I said, if you make sure you do it right the first time, you should be good to go.
Okay, very good. All right, then. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you bet. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. We appreciate that this morning. Nick Underwood.
Lowell
Underwood is with me. I was going to Nick here on the phone.
Nick.
So, hi, Nick. How are you? Nick's in Davenport. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Nick.
Good morning. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
This might be a tough one, but what if you got like a 65 Mustang or a 71 Dodge Plymouth Challenger or Charger or Dodge Charger?
Mm-hmm.
Where in God's green earth do you get parts for that?
Well, there are a lot of, especially when you get into the older cars, there are a lot of companies now that are starting to remake those panels, and there's like Camaros, for an example. You can pretty much buy every piece for that Camaro now, because the aftermarket companies have found that these are cars, and it takes a little while to get to those older cars. It's not so easy to get like a 70s, but yet you get back into 60s. They have started to remake those panels, like quarter panels and floor pans. Newmark is a company that is really big into making those particular aftermarket. They have bought in the stamps, metal stamps that they use on the new cars when they built them new, and they had bought in these stamps, and they are actually remaking all those panels now.
Are they all blueprinted? They're all throwbacks, but are they blueprinted, and so on and so forth?
Definitely you have to watch what you get, because there are companies that aren't as nice as the ones that have really bought in the patents on those. But you have to just kind of really talk to people that do that kind of work all the time, and to figure out which parts are the better parts to get.
But it is feasible.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely feasible.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you for calling in.
Could you rebuild the whole car from back in the 50s or 60s then?
I think you probably almost could.
Probably almost sounds like it anyway.
Yeah.
Let's go to Amy here in Cedar Rapids. Hi, Amy. Are you there?
Hi.
Yeah.
Good morning, Amy.
Hey, Amy, can you turn your radio down, please, because we're getting kind of a double feedback here?
Alrighty, sorry about that.
That's okay. Go for it.
Hey, I just wanted to hit Lowell up about the rust with the 95 Jimmys, but he was already answered my question.
Oh.
And I just wanted to let everybody know out there that he is the body shop guru.
Well, thanks, Amy.
Oh, very good.
and I'll be closing at 11.
Okay. Amy is sounds like my secretary.
Oh,
and, she runs my body shop during the Saturday mornings. We're open from 8 till noon, and we also have our rental department there.
Oh, sure. We haven't talked about that at all. You bet.
We'll get into that next.
All right. Hey, Amy, thanks for the call. I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you,
Good
Amy.
job, buddy.
Yep.
All right. All right. Let's see here. Let's go to Mark here in Cedar Rapids. Hi, Mark.
Hey, Lowell.
Good morning, Mark.
Hey, I've got a real quick question here. It has to do with kind of the winters. I know we're past the winter season now.
Yeah,
but
thank goodness,
I'm looking at, the winters here are really rough, and the brine that they put on the road.
Yep.
I'm looking for something I can put, on the undercarriage and the underbody, especially in the quarter panel, some spray-on application that's going to give me a little more protection than the factory finish.
Okay. And what year of car do you got?
Well, I'm looking at a newer car, something I'm looking at preserving, like a truck is what I'm looking at.
Okay.
So, but, I just want to protect the underbody.
Sure. Well, one of the things, you got a couple options, really. You've got companies that are actually out there that will do a underbody undercoating, which is excellent. There is options that you can do it yourself with aerosol cans, which is, my preference would be to get somebody as far as a company to do it, because they have like really long wands that they can get back up into those areas where it's really hard to get to. That's the key in making sure that you do the underside really good is getting back in those crevices where it's really hard to get to, and that's what they're good at doing. I think. Well, I can't think of the name of the companies now, but that's definitely something you can do. I was thinking today too was making sure that you really do a good job in the spring, well, even throughout the winter, just washing that underside as much as you can, because that really helps too.
Okay. And as far as like any products, you got any products you can recommend?
Well, 3M sells a lot of different products for that type of stuff. Some of them are more of a hard product that gets hard, undercoating that gets hard. Some of it's like a rubberized undercoating. So 3M has a lot of good products for that type of thing.
Okay, what's the benefits to each one? I mean, versus a hard coating versus going to a rubberized coating.
Well, it all depends on your application. I think that if you have something that actually kind of runs, when you get it back up in those crevices, it will actually flow down into those areas, and that is definitely a benefit. Where some of the stuff that you can spray on, it pretty much sets up right away, and so it's a little harder to get down in those areas. So try to find something that 3M, like I say, if you look into 3M, they have a couple of products that are really good for that particular application.
Okay, very good. I appreciate your help, Walt.
Yeah, Mark, and you can actually get that stuff at either auto parts stores, or you can get it at paint supply companies can help you with that type of thing. All right. Thanks for calling in, Mark.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call. Lowell Underwood, my guest this morning from Cassill Motors. Jay is out running a marathon in Las Vegas. What a place to have that. So we hope he brings back a buck or two with him or two.
Yeah, you said he was a little hot out there.
A little hot.
Boy, kind of jealous.
Something. Yeah, well, it's going to get around 70 degrees today before it's all through.
Excellent.
I had one question, then we have to take a break on the rust. If you're going to trade the car every 3 to 4 years, do you really need to undercoat or put some rusting in there?
That's a good point. A lot of people do that nowadays. They don't keep their cars as long as they used to. But it's probably not as crucial if you're actually going to be trading in your car every few years, because you're not going to keep it. And definitely is probably not as
well. How long does a car go before all of a sudden you're starting to see? I mean, is it 3, 4, 5 years? Is it sooner? What depends on the car, I suppose.
It depends on the car.
Yeah, there you go.
It does, but no, typically it's usually later.
Yeah.
Before you start seeing that kind of stuff.
Not on my Edsel, right?
I don't think you'd have anything with that thing. I think
that's probably true.
They built them pretty good back then.
That's right. Hey, listen, we're going to take a break. Lowell Underwood is my guest. He's with Cassill Motors. Jay Cassill, we've sent out to Las Vegas to run a half a marathon.
Yeah.
He was panting there on the phone. I'm not sure he's going to make the whole thing.
I think he's pretty stubborn.
You think he's pretty stubborn?
Oh, yeah. I think he'll make it.
All right. Well, if you have a question, Lowell is the collision center manager, is that right?
Yep.
And he be glad to take your call. He's been working around cars since he was about 5. Would be glad to take your call this morning if you have a question about your car or what's going on. 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, or star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone. We'll come back in just a moment. This is 600 WMT. Welcome back. It is the My Car Geek Hour, right?
That's right. It is the Car Geek Hour. So it's
the My Car. See, Jay, make sure I say My Car Geek Hour.
Okay.
All right. Lowell Underwood is here. Jay Cassill is out running a half a marathon in Las Vegas today.
Jay.
Lowell's the collision center manager and been around cars all his life. And whatever question he can't answer, we're taking phone numbers, so Jay's going to call him back after the show, right?
That's for sure. Yep. Jay said he would promise to call him back.
All right. The phone number here is 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone. Let's go to Brian in Wapello. Hi, Brian.
How we doing?
Good. Good morning, Brian.
Good.
What can we...
I have a question as far as hail damage.
Okay.
What is the best way of or the best way to deal with hail damage?
Okay.
If you can.
Well, I mean, it has a lot to do with how severe it is. One of the newest technologies out there is what they call PDR, which is a paintless dent removal. And that's been around for a long time, but it's an actual system where they come in from the back side of the panel. They also have where they push the dent out from the underside. So it depends on how big the dents are. There's a definite limitation to what they can do with how big the dent is. They also have what they call glue, where they glue a little tab on the outside of the panel, and they can release the pressure of that dent from doing it that way. I know there's a lot of people that said, well, yeah, you can just simply put some ice on there or dry ice and things of that nature. I have not experienced doing that myself, but the PDR works really well. It just, again, has a lot to do with the severity of it, because if it gets to be too big and too deep, you would pretty much have to go to the point of where you replace those particular panels.
Okay. Now, what about small dents, like hail dents that aren't real big?
Yeah, those are the ones that are like excellent for having PDR work done.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And there are multiple companies here, and I'm not sure exactly where you're from, Wapello.
Yes.
There's definitely companies out there that do that type of repairs.
Okay.
You might check with your local body shop. A lot of the body shops now actually have their own guys that can do that type of work for you.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling in.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet.
Appreciate the call this morning. Lowell Underwood, my guest from Cassill Motors, and Lowell is the collision center manager. He knows a lot about cars. While we relieve Jay to run a marathon here. Let's talk to Keith. Hi, Keith.
Hi, Lowell. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Keith. I'm doing excellent. How about yourself?
Great. I really appreciate the show here. I had a question. I'm buying a different car here. I drive a lot of miles.
Okay.
But, I want a 4-wheel drive for our wonderful winters here.
Sure.
Is there any big difference? I don't pull anything, but a 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder, I know I get better mileage, I would think, with a 4, but just trying to keep my costs down as far as maintenance and just initial expense there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you definitely have an advantage to going with a 4-cylinder versus a 6-cylinder. You have also different companies out there that are making, like, Ford's got the EcoBoost. You have different companies like that produce you with different power. If you're only looking at something where you're actually just driving, going with a 4-cylinder is a really good way to go. You get into a little larger vehicle, you might want to bump up to a 6-cylinder just for the sake of trying to pull that vehicle around. But if you're actually just on the road a lot, looking at a 4-cylinder, you'll probably get your best gas mileage out of that.
Yeah, it's looking at like a Jeep Patriot or a Ford Escape, something that size.
Sure.
But I don't pull anything with it. But I don't think there's that much difference as far as torque or get up and go for what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah, and and like you said, if you're looking for gas mileage, going with that 4-cylinder, especially if you don't really pull anything, you're better off probably just going with that 4-cylinder.
Okay, that's great. And
All right.
I don't know if you can endorse either one, but Jeep or Ford, either for maintenance. Just I want reliability is the biggest thing. I don't know if that's anything you can comment on or not.
I don't know if I really know enough about which one was better or worse, but they're both good vehicles out there.
All right.
I
sure appreciate your show. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great Easter.
Hey, thank you. You too.
Thank you. And Lowell Underwood, my guest. Phone number is 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone. He's with Cassill Motors. Jay just texted me. See, he doesn't think he can't hear us out there in Las Vegas, but I get this text and it says, ask Lowell if they do PDR, and I just heard you talk about that.
Oh, yeah. The PDR is definitely something we do. We have a co-worker, my employee that is actually schooled. He's bought his own tools. He's gone through all the training. So, yes, we do. And like I said, there are body shops out there that have that, service provided through their body shop, and we are definitely one that has that availability. And so, if you ever need to have that type of work, door dings are an excellent way of taking out those little small dents that typically you don't want to have to go through all the body work and paint work.
Well, here's a different. I had a door ding, and we talked about that last week. But it kind of chipped some of the paint a little bit, and really dug almost into it a little bit. So I touched it up to get by for a little bit. But the point is that one place told me, well, we're going to have to do the whole panel and take it off and do this and this. And another place said, no, we can take care of that without that happening. Now, why did I get two different answers on this?
Well, it's opinion. It's a difference of an opinion. One thing I like to try to tell people is don't always just jump to the conclusion that you have to do body work and you have to do paint work. My boss will probably get upset with me on that, but because that's where you get into the most cost. Paint work is very expensive, and the materials costs are so high right now. So if you can avoid getting into that scenario, and a lot of customers are just happy to just get rid of the dent.
Yeah.
Because that's what you see the most.
Yeah, it wasn't really a dent. It was just kind of a scraping of the. Yeah.
Yeah, and and you can come back in there and put a little color in there, and you can put a little clear over the top, and so that way you at least have protection over that little scrape.
Yeah.
You don't need to get into doing a whole full-blown paint job. Now, that just depends also upon, what year your car is, how nice you want to keep it. If you're really wanting to strive, like I have customers that just are really finicky or really picky, then we would probably go to the state of trying to repair it and paint it to make sure that he has absolutely no flaws. But if you're, in a situation where it's an older vehicle, maybe, maybe just going through there and touching it up and giving it a little bit of a buff is always an most inexpensive way to be able to achieve the same thing.
Is there a point where you have to do that as if you want it to look nice and everything just like new again? There's a point where you can't buff it out or can't get in there and just really make it look nice again?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And that point would be?
Well, if you get to a point where you burn through, for an example, if you're buffing it and all of a sudden you start to go through that clear coat, then you went too far.
I see.
It's too deep.
I see.
So if it's a case where you can actually buff it out and you can save that clear coat still, then it's a good way to go. But if it's actually getting to where it gets too deep, then you're going to have to go back to the way of painting it and sanding it down, painting it and stuff.
I've noticed on some of the newer cars now, they're starting to re-put these little bumper panels along the side. Did they learn something, or what's going on? I just happened to notice that the other day.
We talked about that last week. I think the old Edsel there. She's got to buy those great big side moldings that are metal.
Well, but these are thin. These are just go along the side, though.
That's always what they're meant to be is to protect the door in case somebody opens up your door or somebody else's door into you. The thing about it is that a lot of them just depends on the vehicle that's sitting next to you. It might be a real tall vehicle.
That's
where
true.
It's not going to help.
That's right.
A lot of it is really just for looks. They put them on there like the old days for the sake of trying to protect your sides, but realistically, it's mostly just for the sake of looks and giving it a certain look. So
we had a question come in. I'll see if I can get it back here on my phone that came in through the email. So I've got my email on my.
Awesome.
It says here, "Hi Jay," which you're not Jay, you're Lowell this morning, but it says my question is on the Ford SUV with the foot-activated lift gate.
Sure.
What would happen if a dog would go under that part of the bumper? Would the gate open then? Don't other cars or vans makers already have this feature on the key fob for doing this?
Oh, excellent question. That's a good question. It's kind of a funny question, but the truth of the matter is, like any vehicle out there, you have to have the key fob with you when you're walking up to your vehicle. It has to be within a certain range of being able to actually activate the system in order to open up in this case, the Ford's got the underfoot lift gate. A lot of cars out there still have the lift gate with the button that you can actually remotely open it.
Yeah, is the dog going to open that by itself?
No, the dog wouldn't open it if you're real close to it and the dog happened to run underneath it. But typically, you have to have the key fob close to the vehicle before you can have that activate.
We're going to take a break. Lowell Underwood from Cassill Motors is here. Where is Cassill Motors located?
Cassill Motors is located, the main dealership is on 2939 16th Avenue, right next to the Tysons. And the body shop, if you'd like to know where that's at, is on 1625 West Post Road. It's on the corner of 16th Avenue and West Post Road.
Very good. And how would they get a hold of you if they want to bring their car out to you?
Give us a call. It goes through our main dealership. It's 319-396-2698.
And your hours for the body shop?
Body shop hours are 7 o'clock till 5 o'clock, Monday through Friday, and Saturday mornings 8 till noon.
Very good. Lowell Underwood, my guest this morning from Cassill Motors. We'll take some more calls when we come back. You're listening to the My Car Geek Hour here without Jay Cassill for some reason. We'll be back in a minute.
600 WMT.
Welcome back now. It is the My Car Geek Hour. And in for Jay Cassill this week is Lowell Underwood. He is the collision center manager, and Jay is listening though. Is that correct? Yeah, he keeps texting you or something like that. So that's a good thing. He's listening on his iPhone. So he's making sure we don't screw something up. Is that
going,
it? So
Jay, keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Where are you? Anyway, let's take a call here. Let's go to Alex in Cedar Rapids. Hi, Alex.
Good morning. I just had a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, Alex.
Good morning. I had some rust on my truck, so I put those fender flares over the outside. I did some touch-up work on the paint. Just didn't look right, so I put the fender flares over the top of that to kind of cover up where that was at.
Okay.
I noticed on the fender flares, though, the actual attachment device, like a stainless steel fastener, that's already starting to rust. Is there a different type of fastener I should use? I thought it was stainless steel, but it may not be. But it's hard to tell just by looking at it. It doesn't look like it's aluminum, but is there some other type of fastener I should be using so it doesn't rust?
Does it look like it's like a pop rivet, or is it an actual bolt? What are you using for a fastener?
I think it's kind of got like looks like an Allen.
Okay.
Almost like an Allen screw head on it, and it's just kind of, there's several of them on the outside, and then there's a couple of them under the kind of in the wheel well there.
Yeah, in the lip area. Yeah, I would definitely suggest if it's not a stainless steel bolt, maybe switching to a stainless steel or even chromed. Without seeing it, obviously I can't tell you for sure what you have. But if it's actually rusting already, then more than likely it's probably just a steel bolt or a steel screw.
That's coated, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it's kind of got a chrome finish to it, but it might be just thin dip coating or something like that.
Yeah, try to switch to a stainless steel bolt or an Allen head screw. That would be your best bet as far as the looks.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
You bet. Thanks for calling in.
We have time for a few more calls here. If you'd like to talk with Lowell Underwood this morning from Cassill Motors, phone number is 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, star 600 on your U.S. Cellular phone. Lowell, as I mentioned, has mentioned several times, a collision service manager.
Service manager,
yep. You bet. And so we're talking a little bit about how to fix the body on some cars and how to do some things. Now, before we get it back into that a little bit, now, you had a question earlier about what?
Well, we had a caller that just called in not too long ago that was asking about the Taurus, and he was asking about a 2002 Taurus that had the bad tranny.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay's actually listening, and he texted me back and said that was actually back in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
The 2001 Tauruses had back then a bad transmission. So like we were talking before, is there certain cars that have certain issues?
Right.
Then yes, absolutely. So...
Yeah, so that answers that question, I guess, right?
Yeah.
That's what he wanted to know.
That's right.
All right. You want to take another call?
Okay, you bet.
All right, let's talk to John in Redland. Hi, John. How are you?
Pretty good. I have a question. I bought a newer vehicle several years ago, and I had those running boards on it, and I had to get them replaced because the black paint was coming off the aluminum steps.
What kind of, can you kind of give me an idea what kind? Are they like tubular, or were they like the big flat ones?
The big flat ones, can I tell you the brand name on the air or not?
Well, sure.
The DZ one?
Okay, DZ, yep.
Can they be repainted or not?
Yeah, you probably could. The problem you might run into, though, is the cost factor of the whole thing. Because, first of all, you got to get all of that old paint off there. And what it is probably more of like a powder coating that they used on those, and that's coming off now. So it's going to take a little bit of work, and sandblasting maybe would be one way of getting all that old, coating off of there. So you might want to look into whether that's actually cost effective, because you may actually be able to buy new ones cheaper than it would cost to have it repainted. Okay. So yeah, you might want to just do a little homework and checking that out and find it out. But they can be done, yes.
Okay. I appreciate it, and I enjoy your show. Thank you.
I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you so much. You bet. All right. Well, we're just about to the end, but
unbelievable.
I have a few more questions for you on the. We have to take advantage of you while you're here.
There you go.
Something like that.
I hope I get to come back.
Well, I bet you Jay brings you back one of these weeks.
That'd be awesome.
You bet. Yeah. And anyway, a question for you here would be: if somebody comes over, they have their car brought in that's got a, they just had a car accident, a fender bender or something like that. So now there sits the car. Now, how long does it take before you get everything put together so you can actually start to work on that car?
Okay.
Because everybody's saying, I got to get the car fixed. See,
but
now how do you have to call an insurance company? Do they have to pay their deductible up front? What in the world goes on here?
Well, typically what you do is when you get, let's say it's a severe damaged vehicle, you get it towed in, and you have to call your insurance company to get a claim started.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the key factors is getting a claim number started, and then getting the proper numbers that we need to call or fax or email the insurance company. And what we usually typically do is we would go through and we start looking at the car. Sometimes we have to take it apart a little bit, and it's called tear down, so that we can actually see the damage that's underneath. And we start to do what we call an estimate. And so what we'll do is we'll type up an estimate, we take photos, then we usually will email that insurance company the photos and the estimate. That's where the claim number is important, because they use the claim number as a guide of whose car it is, and it's like a reference number.
Mm-hmm.
And so we usually send that in. Now, usually the insurance company takes a couple days to get back to you, because what they do then is put it in through their system. So that's the key to getting your claim started quickly, is getting that insurance called and let them know that you have a vehicle sitting at such a place, wherever it's at, and to get that claim started as quickly as possible. On the damage part, it takes a little bit of time to get going on those. You got to get parts ordered. and all that, but it just depends on how bad the car is damaged too. Sometimes it's just a couple of days. Sometimes it's a couple of weeks. So
to get the parts or to get the thing completely fixed?
To get started on it and get it fixed.
So an average time would be what? Depending on, I'm sure, the damage.
Damage, absolutely.
But you usually get them out within a couple of weeks or so, something like that.
Well, like I said, it depends on the damage. So.
Lowell Underwood, my guest this morning from Cassill Motors, filling in for Jay Cassill this morning. We have to take a break. Lowell, Cassill Motors is located where?
My body shop is 1625 West Post Road. The main dealership is located on 2939 16th Avenue.
And the phone number to get a hold of you?
319-396-2698.
And they might even want to use that phone number to get a hold of Jay, too.
Yeah.
And they got some great cars in the lot, right?
Absolutely.
We'll come back and talk one more time with Lowell Underwood from Cassill Motors in just a moment.
600 WMT.
Welcome back. Final minute here on the program this morning. And Lowell, how have you felt? We scare you to death too much, or no?
This has been actually an awesome.
You've been really good at doing this, and it's so nice of you to come in this morning. And Jay will be back next week, and we appreciated his input, even though he's still running a marathon out there.
He's still running. Keep it up, Jay.
Something like that. Tell everybody where your body shop is and where they find you, and if they'd like to make an appointment to have you go over their car with them, you sure can.
Yep, I definitely would love to give you an estimate and check out your car or help you fix up your car. The address for the body shop is at 1625 West Post Road. We sit on the corner of 16th Avenue and West Post Road, Southwest. And our phone number is 396-2698.
And now your hours then for the body shop are at what?
Yep, body shop hours are 7 to 5, Monday through Friday. Mm-hmm. Saturday mornings we're open from 8 till noon.
And so anybody can either stop out, give you a call. Can they make an appointment with you out there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sure? You don't really need to make an appointment as far as looking at your car. We just take and do that, whenever. But and then also I want to mention that we do have rentals available.
Well, that's right. We never got into the rentals, did we?
But we have a great fleet of big vans, minivans, and cars.
And that's all handled at your
body? It's all handled right there at our body shop.
Very good. Lowell Underwood, thank you.
It's a one-stop shop.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Hey, thank you for the invite, and keep it up, Jay. Keep on going.
Keep running.
Can't wait to hear how you did.
Very good. Hey, thanks so much, and you have a great week, and have a happy Easter.
Happy Easter to your family, too.